Professor Jeremy Siegel of the Wharton School. He joins us right now. Professor, it's good to see you again. What are your thoughts as we watch these lows of June at least be taken out from the Dow standpoint, and maybe in the days ahead we find the other major averages in this same precarious place?
Yeah, certainly. Scott, I find it very amusing. A year ago at that September meeting, when we had booming commodity prices, housing prices rising at the fastest rate in post-war history, when we had all commodities going up at rapid rates, Fed Chairman Powell and the Fed said, we don't see any inflation. We see no need to raise interest rates in 2022. Now, when all those very same commodities and asset prices are going down, he sees, stubborn inflation that requires the Fed to stay tight all the way through 2023. Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Way too tight. We do not have to get anywhere near that level to stop inflation, because all the inflation is basically stopped. I mean, you had a headline just came across 3 minutes ago. Oil back to January levels. That's before Russia invaded Ukraine. You can see what's happening to commodities. We're going to get the Case-Shiller index next week. It's going to show no increase or a decrease for the first time in years. And that's a lagged indicator. On the ground, commodity, all the prices are going down. The only thing that's not going down is wages. And by the way, wages are in catch-up mode. Don't argue they're pushing inflation. They're lagging inflation. I mean, the workers are trying to get a little bit back of what the inflation happens to be. I think the Fed is just way too tight. They're making exactly the same mistake on the other side that they made a year ago.
There are those who agree with you, who think that the Fed is oversteering.
Yeah,
but saying it doesn't do anything for the scenario that we're currently in. If they continue to do it, whether you think it's right or wrong, if they continue to do it, what does it mean for stocks? Well,
until he sees the light and says, you know what, I don't think we have to be so tight. Until that happens, you can still have pressure on stocks. I mean, and that's gonna, that's probably one of the factors that can see the light. I mean, when he sees how high real rates have gone, the dollar the highest in 20 or 30 years. By the way, next Tuesday we're going to get the monthly stock market money supply data, which is going to show the greatest decline in 5 months that we've had in the post-war period. I mean, if he looks at any of the monetary or financial indicators, he can't say, oh, we have to keep them on. I mean, at his press conference, he said, we have to get real rates in the positive territory. They're in positive territory for every maturity. For the first time in years, we're already there. I thought that was the most uninformative. And no one was asking him a hard question. How do we have 3.2 million new workers and GDP going down? What does that mean? What does the record decline in the money supply mean? I mean, what does the collapse in commodity prices mean? What is the lag construction of these housing indicators that are 40% of the core inflation, which are going to filter through inflation for the next 12 to 15 months? Is that what he's looking at? Why is he looking at that? That's not an accurate view of what housing inflation is. I mean, there were no hard questions. There were 50 reporters there. I don't know. They basically said, repeat the statement you made at the beginning. There's so many things I ask him. What is he actually looking at? I mean, he's looking at 3-month annualized core inflation that is a lag. Well, we all look at market. I mean, look at what does the stock market do? It looks at market-oriented data. And that's what the Fed should be looking at.
I don't know that I've seen you this animated. You seem downright
angry. I am very upset.
Yes, I am. I'm afraid it's like a pendulum. They were way
too easy, as I've told you and many others through 2020, 2021. And now, oh my God, you know, we're going to be real tough guys until we crush the economy. I mean, that is just, to me, absolutely poor monetary policy would be an understatement.